Listen, man, I'm gonna say this about this fight. I really don't care.
It wasn't like a convincing ass beating either,
Right.
but he won.
Yeah, I thought he won.
He
He
was
got
real
it.
enough though. He kept it real enough though to admit that he did say that, had a hey, if I didn't, who knows. So I respect that.
Yeah. He was talking about after that fight. He was like pissing blood and shit. That was the first time in his career when he started pissing blood. It was in that fight,
That sucks, man.
and he had a concussion. I think he had like a. Yeah, I know he had a concussion too, and he had like slurred speech for like 2 months.
Damn, that's scary.
Yeah.
Like, when I mean, to his loved ones or his wife, thinking, damn, you ever gonna talk the same again? I mean, even to himself. Imagine if you had that for 2 months, you'd be worried.
Yeah, for sure, man. But like I said, man, I just want somebody to. I mean, as much as I want it to happen, I don't think it's going to happen though, and I think that it's going to be close. And I'm leaning. I'm actually going to lean towards Bradley in this fight.
Oh snap!
I think that it's going to be. I think. Listen. I think it's going to be. So I think the scorecard is going. I'll predict this for sure though. I think he's going to look better in this fight than he did in the first fight. Because he's not, he's saying that he's got a black cloud, and he wants to eliminate that black cloud. So Bradley's coming to this fight. He's not gonna, fight a stupid fight like he did against Ruslan. He's taking this fight real. I mean, real serious. You could tell by like, like you said, Pacquiao couldn't even look him in the eye, and Bradley the whole entire time was looking at him, dead sets, straight forward in the eye, man.
But that don't mean, but that, you know what though? At the end of the day, Bradley, I mean, Manny has not lost one step as a boxer, and he showed that in the Rios fight. And it's, in Manny's opinion, like Manny said, I mean, what the hell do I have to adjust? I mean, I boxed the socks off Bradley last time I fought him, and in my opinion, he did. I mean, when's the last time you watched that fight?
I watched it in December.
Okay, you know what I mean. And Pacquiao was not. Pacquiao was never in trouble in that fight. He was never worried. He was having fun. He was smiling. I mean, a typical Manny Pacquiao whooping until the decision.
Yeah. And I don't want to see that in this next fight, man. I just really hope. Because, man, listen. I'll say this. I don't think the man that he deserved those death threats. You know what I'm saying? The man did in there. He went in there. He did the, regardless of what the decision was, he came in there and he did the best he did. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that's the only thing you can really ask out of, any fighter in a championship fight.
Look, man, the reason I was calling Bradley and threatening his life is because he wouldn't admit. Nah, I'm joking, man. I didn't do that. I'm saying, look, that is terrible that happened to him, and that's just ignorant and silly for anybody to be that angry to call the man and threaten him like that. Period.
Right.
Over he's a boxer. He's an entertainer. This is what he does for a living. It's not Bradley's fault what the judges decided.
Right.
Okay, so you want to be mad at somebody, be mad at the judges, not Bradley.
Yeah, but people didn't really look at it like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's because fight fans are a bunch of drunk, ignorant, savages who just want blood. I mean, let's admit, what kind of people are into combat?
Yeah.
Not everybody is an educated, sophisticated person. Some people are just, that's why I don't even go out in public and watch fights no more. Like I used to be until like, let's go to the bar and, get some wings. I can't deal with it because the fools that show up at the bar that get just drunk off cheap beer, yelling and screaming, you know what I mean? They're a disgrace. They irritate me.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah.
They're annoying. They make men look stupid.
So you got Pacquiao?
I can't make.
Can't call it right now.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna say Manny. I am gonna say Manny. Okay. I respect Bradley, but I think Manny Pacquiao is the better boxer.
Okay.
I mean, and maybe you know what? And if Bradley's like, you want to knock me out, you know what? Don't let Freddie shoot, Manny up with that juice, dog. some of that roach spray.
Man,
Now, I'm just saying, I don't know.
yeah, I know. Yeah, they doing extreme drug testing from what I hear and from what you know. That's another thing I can respect about Bradley.
Both those guys look like they're on roids. Because you know, Bradley look like he's more on roids than Manny does now. But I'm just saying that could be just done by hard body, hard work. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because Bradley is in shape.
yeah, he trains, he trains serious, man. But he always takes drug tests though, like always, like every fight. He does.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying
He
this.
does the USADA shit, the more extensive one, or the I forgot which one's the more extensive. I believe it's the USADA, the Olympic style. So I mean that's one thing.
What about? I mean, dude, don't forget to mention Bradley's performance against Marquez.
Oh, he looked. I thought he looked phenomenal against Marquez.
And that's after Marquez, you know,
Was
Manny
on a
out.
high.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think, man, listen, I think it's very damn intriguing, man. I just want,
Yeah.
I don't care who wins. I want somebody to get dominated so there's no more of this controversy bullshit. I'm tired of hearing about it.
Look, man, I want it to be a balls to the wall fight. Okay, I don't care about the dominating thing. I want, you know what I mean? Just let the judges give the you know, judge the fight off of who did the most damage. If they want to go toe to toe, because Bradley's like, I'm gonna stand right in front of him. I'm going toe to toe, blow for blow, and that's the kind of that's what Manny Pacquiao became famous for.
Right.
So if Bradley wants that, Bradley's like, you know, I wanted to beat a whatchamacallit, what's the fight I'm thinking of, man?
No, fight with Bradley or somebody else.
Oh, okay, I know what I was thinking about. I was thinking about the fight, a mixed martial arts fight with Gilbert Melendez versus what's his name? Thing is, slips my mind. It's irrelevant. I'm basically, dude. I want a balls to the wall fight. I want them swinging. I want Bradley backing up his words. I don't think Manny's gonna run. Manny's gonna use his angles. He's gonna be popping him, sticking him, knocking his head around. Manny has to be wary of, Bradley's head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
knows how to use that ball and chain now.
You know what though? That might come up in this fight
That's what I'm talking about. I think
because
Bradley's
I can see them clinching, and
Uh-huh.
and Bradley's head will be underneath Pacquiao's chin. He's going to accidentally move his head up really quick, and that might cut him.
accidentally, huh?
Yeah, or unintentionally.
Man, please. He does that. He does that shit on purpose. Bradley said it himself. I will do whatever it takes to win this fight. So don't put his Bernard Hopkins antics past him.
Yeah, I know, but he hasn't used. I don't think he's used his head since the Devin Alexander fight, and that was in 2011. He didn't use. I don't believe he used it. I mean, he stopped Casamayor. He didn't use the headbutt. He didn't use his head against Pacquiao. Didn't use his head against Ruslan. Didn't use his head against Marquez. So I don't know. I'm just saying he hasn't really used it in a while. So I mean, you just have to be aware of it though in this fight.
Either way, man, Manny Pacquiao has nothing to prove if he doesn't win this fight. He's solidified Hall of Famer. Bradley, if he wins, then great, because I want to see him fight Mayweather, which I think will be awesome.
Yeah.
But if Pacquiao beats Bradley, that's going to be awesome too. Then we can, see what happens in Mayweather's next fight. And we'll finally get to see
Yeah.
the most expensive fight of all time.
Well, hopefully, yeah. All right, so we're gonna do that fight next.